The SR-72, son of Blackbird, is no longer just a gleam in an engineer's eye. Recent reports from defense insiders and aviation outlets point to prototype flights and a U.S. Air Force nod toward operational testing, confirming what skeptics dismissed as Hollywood hype. This was the fictional jet featured in the blockbuster Top Gun, Maverick as the Dark Star. This hypersonic marvel has allegedly shattered the sound barrier multiple times over in classified trials at Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works facility in Palmdale, California. Here's what we know of the son of Blackbird. At speeds over 4,600 miles per hour, folks, faster than a bullet train with no brakes, the SR-72 promises to redefine reconnaissance, zipping past enemy radars like a ghost in the machine. But let's pump the brakes. This confirmation isn't a press conference with champagne. It's pieced from satellite imagery leaks, executive hints, and budget line items that scream Black Project. Lockheed Martin CEO has teased a game-changing program since 2018 that would be critical for U.S. and allied forces, fueling speculation that the SR-72 is the star. So why now? Geopolitical tensions with China and Russia have escalated the hypersonic arms race, making yesterday's supersonic dreams feel like horse and buggy tech. For the average guy, this is just about cool jets. But more's at stake here. We're talking about national security in an era where missiles fly faster than you can turn your head. To understand the SR-72, you have to bow to its predecessor, the SR-71 Blackbird, a Cold War icon that made impossible its middle name. Born in the late 1950s at Lockheed's clandestine Skunk Works, the SR-71 first flew in 1964 in spite of World War II experimental engineering, where it evoked the smell of rapid-fire innovation. It wasn't just an airplane, it was a flying contradiction, a spy plane that outran missiles while sipping fuel like a Hummer in a traffic jam. The SR-71 cruised at Mach 3, about 2,200 miles per hour, 3 times the speed of sound, higher than 85,000 feet in stratospheric territory where commercial jets fear to tread. Ironically, its titanium skin was sourced from the Soviet Union. The US bought it disguised as camera parts to avoid sanctions. Now its hide can withstand skin-searing heat from air friction, glowing cherry red at top speeds. Cameras and sensors captured intel from denied airspace, evading Soviet surface-to-air missiles by simply outflying them. Over 32 years, it logged 4,000-plus missions, from Vietnam to Libya, without a single combat loss. Pilots, clad in pressure suits like astronauts, called it the sled. So why retire it in 1998? Satellites got cheaper and stealthier, and budgets tightened post-Cold War. Besides, maintenance was a nightmare. Each flight guzzled 6,000 gallons of special JP-7 fuel in 20 minutes. Cost per hour was a cool $200,000. Yet nostalgia lingers. NASA flew a few until 1999 for research. The Blackbird's legacy was that it proved speed trumps stealth for penetration, a mantra the SR-72 echoes. SR-72 is a hypersonic jet. But before we geek out on the SR-72, let's demystify hypersonic. Speed in aviation is measured in Mach numbers, named after Ernst Mach, the Austrian physicist who quantified shock waves. 1 Mach is the speed of sound at sea level, about 767 miles per hour. Subsonic means lower than that, while supersonic indicates that it moves faster. Transonic is the messy in-between where booms happen. Hypersonic booms kick in at Mach 5 or 3,836 miles per hour, 5 times the speed of sound, where air behaves like plasma, ionizing from friction heat up to 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It's not just fast, it beats material meltdown in hyperdrive. The air-breathing engines that compress incoming air via speed known as ramjets work here, but traditional jets choke. But its scramjets are supersonic combustion ramjets, where air rushes through at supersonic speeds, mixing fuel in a fiery blur. No moving parts, but ignition is trickier than lighting a match in a hurricane. The SR-72 lives here, blending brute speed with brains for intel gathering. Unlike missiles' one-way trips, it's reusable, circling back for more. The SR-72's story starts in 2007, when Skunk Works rumors hinted at a Mach 6 ISR intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance platform to replace the SR-71's gap that was exposed by drone vulnerabilities in modern wars. Lockheed pitched it privately in 2013. It will be a mostly unmanned wave rider design, riding its shockwave for efficiency, about 100 feet long like the Blackbird. Development hit warp speed, then stalled. By 2014, NASA chipped in for turbine-based combined cycle studies, merging turbofans for takeoff with scramjets for hypersonics. A 60-foot demonstrator was eyed for 2018 flights, but the Air Force balked, funneling cash to stealth drones like the RQ-180. CEO Marilyn Hewson boasted a 2016 breakthrough, 3D printed parts slashing costs below $1 billion. Yet 2018 brought denials. No full plane, just research. Fast forward to 2025. Budget leaks and press releases suggest a demonstrator flew, hitting Mach 6 for several minutes. Lockheed remained reticent because black projects thrive on ambiguity. It was projected to make its service debut in the 2030s if funding flows, and under the hood was just as impressive as its exterior. At its core, the SR-72 is a propulsion puzzle solved. Traditional jets use turbines to suck, compress, burn, and expel air. At hypersonic speeds, compressors seize. Enter the TBCC, a hybrid heart. Low-speed mode is a modified turbofan like your 747s, and this gets it to Mach 2.2 using rotating blades for efficiency. Then it transitions to dual-mode ramjet/scramjet, where speed compresses air. Here, no turbines needed. For the dual-mode bit, a ramjet handles Mach 3 to 4 at subsonic combustion, flipping to scramjet for Mach 5 plus at supersonic burn. Shared inlet nozzle is practically genius, smooth handover, like shifting gears without grinding. And materials can handle hypersonics since they cook the exterior like a forge. The SR-71's titanium hits 600 degrees Fahrenheit, while the SR-72 faces over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The solution was by no means simple. Ceramic matrix composites, or CMC, carbon fibers woven with silicon carbide, lighter than metal, tougher than steel. Add ablative coatings, layers that char and peel, carrying heat away. Also add active cooling, fuel piped through skin as a heat sink. Its shape is a flattened diamond wave rider, minimizing drag by surfing its own shockwave. Its sensor optics get blurred by speed, so infrared and synthetic aperture radar dominates as it sees like a camera via echoes. Dominate. Hypersonic missiles like the air-launched rapid response weapons are dropped at Mach 5 within hours anywhere in the world. Unmanned ops mean AI autonomy, dodging cyber threats. At altitudes above 80,000 plus feet, the SR-72 flies above most threats. Its range is 3,000 plus miles, refuelable mid-air. It's not flawless though. Transitions risk flameouts, and payloads shrink under G-forces. But it's a leap from the SR-71's film cameras to digital omniscience. Stack the sons against the father, and the SR-72 isn't an upgrade, it's a reinvention. The Blackbird is manned at 107 feet long, 140,000-pound takeoff weight, Mach 3.3 top end, with 2,900 mile range on JP-7 fuel. The crew of 2 endured 3 G-turns in suits, and evasion was pure velocity. SR-72, on the other hand, is primarily unmanned and approximately 100 feet, with lighter composites slashing weight by 20%. Its top speed nearly doubles its predecessor, cutting mission times from hours to minutes. For instance, LA to Beijing is just 2 hours compared to SR-71's 4. For propulsion, SR-71's Pratt & Whitney J58 turbo ramjet hybrid is no match for the TBCC's seamless spectrum. The Blackbird's shape-scattered radar. The SR-72 adds low observable coatings, though it chooses speed over invisibility. The SR-71 costs $34 million each in the 1970s dollars. But the SR-72 is a $1 to $2 billion prototype, although it's reusable for ops, making it cheaper long-term. Where SR-71 outran SAMS, SR-72 outpaces hypersonic interceptors, trading pilot guts for AI smarts. The SR-72 doesn't fly solo. It's in a dogfight with international speed demons. Boeing's X-51 Waverider from the 2013 testbed is a scramjet only and hit Mach 5.1 for 210 seconds. Impressive, but one shot, no reuse. SR-72's TBCC laps it with full envelope flight. China's WZ-8 had its 2021 debut, rocket boosted to Mach 6, an unmanned recon like SR-72. but air-launched from balloons. It's niche and less versatile. The payload is quite tiny compared to SR-72's missile bay. Russia's 2019 Avangard is practically a glide vehicle on ICBMs, cruising Mach 20+, but ballistic, not air-breathing, unpowered skip on atmosphere, and vulnerable to lasers. SR-72 breathes air, loiters, strikes repeatedly. U.S. peers like Mayhem or Hypersonic strike recons also facing funding woes, delaying the project to the 2030s. The SR-72's ISR strike duality outshines missile-focused rivals, but China's volume pressures U.S. singularity. The long haul, what took so damn long? From 2013 pitch to 2025 confirmation, 12 years vanished in engineering quicksand. That's because the Air Force Ghost prioritized F-35s and drones, and the SR-72's $4 billion tab scared Pentagon's top brass. Besides, there are some technical issues to consider. Scramjets ignite only above Mach 4, gaps filled by risky mode transitions, and tested in wind tunnels costing millions per run. Materials melted in simulations. CMCs later emerged from Space Shuttle R&D, but scaling will take decades. On one hand, post-9/11 wars favored ground pounders, but on the other hand, hypersonics have boomed with China's 2019 DF-17 tests. COVID supply chains hobbled titanium alternatives, and the delays from 2018 flights to 2025 were purely attrition. Yet breakthroughs like additive manufacturing through 3D printing of engine parts accelerated late game. From Blackbird's blaze to hypersonic hush, it's America's audacious bet on speed as sovereignty. In a world racing to Mach 5, the sun soars. Finally. Will this jet dominate the skies or cater to a niche market? Let's know what you think in the comments section below.